All right, there, guys. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about a great resource that you can use in the classroom called Khan Academy. This is available. You can either use it on the internet, or there's also an app for Apple and Android. So if you were going to use it on the internet, you can go to www.khanacademy.org. Now, I had recently just been on here doing some searching around and everything. But once you go to khanacademy.org for the first time, if you're not logged in, this is what it's going to come up like. So what you can do is, as a teacher, go to Teacher Start here. Now again, you want to make sure that you have the Teacher tab selected. And if you have a Google account and you want to use your Google account, you can do that. Continue with Facebook, sign up with email. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign up with an email address just to show you what it looks like from that view. So I'm going to use my Wilkes. And you just go in and fill this information in, create a password, and go ahead and sign up. Once you get signed up as a teacher, it will take you through here. So what I want to do, depending on whatever you would like to do here, is you can name the class, or you can import everything from your Google Classroom. So if you want to import your stuff from Google Classroom, you can do that. However, I would just like to go through and create a regular class. So I'll just say Mr. Leiter, period 8, acceleration, because this is usually what I use my Khan Academy for, our acceleration or MTSS period. So I'll go to next. And then I'd want to think about, what subjects do I use? So if you have a kindergarten classroom and you want to get students trying to use that, there's kindergarten material on there all the way up through 8th grade in math. You have some more advanced math subjects here. And you have some science and engineering, high school math. This is based on, looks like, New York standards, some computing, some arts and humanities, economics and finance, test prep, and then some college and career-ready things, college admissions, careers, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. Or you can just go general, and if you have something you want is not exactly displayed. So what we're going to do is, for my class, we'll do pre-algebra and algebra 1. Okay. I can, if I'd like to, add some SAT practice there if I want to. However, I'm not going to at this point. Now, there's multiple ways I can get my students involved in interacting. I can have them create, if they have their own email address, go in and create their Khan Academy account by doing the same thing that we did to create a teacher account, however, going through the student way. And I'm going to create, I'll show you a video on that a little bit later here in the presentation. The next thing is, I can display this on the board, and once the students go through, they'll see this is the code they need to put in to become part of my class. Similar to if you're using Google Classroom. I know I used Google Classroom in the past, and you give a code to display, and that's what the students use. You can also send an email invitation or create a Khan Academy account for that student. Okay? So, again, perfectly up to you. It doesn't really matter. So at this point, I'm just going to skip that at this point. And, if you want to, you can add in your school and everything like that. But I'm going to skip at this point. Now I want to find content to assign to my class. So I usually talk with my pre-algebra teacher on what he's going through and talking about. And it tells you here all your standards, which is great. It tells you all the standards here for arithmetic. Looks like I can click on that. There's some 8th grade Common Core standards that I can look over in terms of classifying numbers, rational, irrational, multi-digit repeating, okay, all that different type of content. So maybe I want to go down here and look at place value. So I broke it down here by place value. And here's a video. If I want to preview it, I can do that. If not, if I just want to assign this whole group of lessons to my students, I can do so. Okay, so all of these will be assigned to them to do. So I would click assign, and I would give them a due date. Okay, however, I do not have any students in there right now, so it will not let me assign anything. But if you had students, the blue would show up, and I just saved it into my classroom. Now I can go in here to assignments, and if I had an active assignment, it would say when it's due, assigned on, and how many of my students have completed it. Same with the progress portion of this. You can see all of the different students that you have in your classroom, then their progress, what they're doing, and actually is very nice and will create a chart for you, and I'll show you that a little bit later. Activity, it's great to always remember and see how much our students are working within the content that you're assigning to them. Roster is good too, to see all my students, their usernames and everything, as well as settings. So if I want to change anything, some SAT prep reporting, or syncing it with my Google Classroom. This is good too. I usually actually have this signed up when I do my classes. I get a weekly email telling me about how my students are doing with Khan Academy. So you have all that here, which is a great resource. And if you ever just want to go back to the original part of Khan Academy, boom, there you go. You are on the main part for teachers. And actually, if you watch this video before June 30th, you'll be able to see that you got some professional development course, a 60-minute video talking about classroom strategies, touring the product, planning for the classroom, and, you could win a trip to San Francisco. Anyhow, I go back to students, resources. There's resources here for if you're new to Khan Academy, fall 2017. K-12 teachers, there's resources there. Student resources, parent and mentors, out-of-school programs, etc. So again, if you want to go back, Khan Academy, just hit that button and it will take you back. If you want to go back to where I was earlier, talking about content, assignments, progress, and everything, you click on your class there, back at the main page. So say I want to go to another subject, I can go in here to multiple subjects, and I want to talk about just maybe I'm dealing with or working with a class and they're struggling with their math, and I need to do some math review from 7th grade. So I click on the 7th grade, and I go and see what exactly I can talk about here, and they're struggling with negative numbers, addition, subtraction. So we can go through and do some introduction to that. They could take a quiz to see, how well they're doing with it, and I can track all of their progress. So here's videos on learning, practice, to get some extra practice with it. I can use a search engine too if I want to learn, again, about place value, and I want to go search and look at some place value. I can search for it, and it will show me some different videos. Here's 1st grade place value. Here's something that's probably a little more advanced we can use for place value in the middle school setting. So, again, just click on Khan Academy. It takes you back to your teacher page, and you're good to go from there. A few other things before we finish up with the introduction for teachers is if you ever need any additional information, you can use the Help Center down here. And the Help Center, if you click on the Help Center button, it will take you. Unfortunately, at this point, we experienced an error, but you can use the Help Center to help you with that, and also for your English language learners. If you need to, you can go in and change the language of the class and do that. Add a new class if you need to, so say you want to do it with another class, you can add all that information in there. So, this was just an introduction to getting you started with Khan Academy. A little bit later, I'll be getting you a video and explaining to you a little bit more about what you can do as a teacher and showing you some of the information that you get on the teacher side of Khan Academy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have great success using Khan Academy in your classroom.